Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities and veterans. We are your USA team, and we are all about communities here. And tonight is no exception. We're going to have a great conversation here, and you're going to want to see all the things tonight. Joining us, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Michael Martin Hummel. Michael is a writer, speaker, and podcaster who works to bridge the gap between disabled and able-bodied people, and I am always so happy to have you joining us. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I look
So
forward to this every day, every week.
awesome. And I know you have something to look forward to coming up pretty soon here with an event of your own. You want to fill us in?
Yeah, once a month on the usually is the third Saturday, I do a speaking engagement for people with disabilities, their family members, or people within the disabled community. And this month, we're doing it the the fourth Saturday, because of scheduling conflicts. But yeah, once a month I do that, and I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent. And how can people find out more about that?
I am on Facebook. My name is Michael Martin Hummel, and you can either s- find me there, or you can email me at michaelhummel@wheelsandwarriors.com.
And that again, Wheels and the letter N,
Yeah, yeah.
wheelsandwarriors.com.
Wheels and words. Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. Well, that's going to be an amazing event. I'm looking forward to hearing more and catching the recap of that because you do have an amazing community that you've developed with what you all do with the podcasting and the groups coming together like that. So this is going to be a powerful one.
Thank you. And this
All
is
right.
going to be my actual biggest event because we probably doubled the amount of speakers.
Oh my gosh. So much to bring in and take in. Don't want to miss that one. Make sure to get that information and join in so you can be part of what's all going on with Michael's group there.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Our next guest, this is going to be a fun one. Teray is a friend that, oh my gosh, we go back a ways. And I'm so happy to have Teray Foster joining us tonight. Trey is the visionary founder of ARC7 Arcology, which is a groundbreaking housing model designed to replace the isolating single-family home with an inclusive, walkable community where every generation and every ability can thrive. As an advocate for universal design and the community-based living, Trey has spent years developing a blueprint for a new kind of neighborhood that supports families, empowers people with disabilities, and promotes shared ownership and opportunity. Her work bridges architecture, social innovation, and human connection, showing how thoughtful design can transform not just buildings, but lives. Through ARC7, Teray offers a clear and compassionate alternative to traditional housing, one that integrates care, employment, and belonging for all. Let's welcome Teray Foster to join us. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
And you have so much to offer. I have completely lost touch in the last few years and have been so impressed with what you've all been up to, what you're all doing. And I'm thrilled that you're here to be able to share with everybody what your work is all about. So Arc 7, I want to ask what inspired you to create Arc 7 and how did your personal experiences lead you to start this movement?
Oh, that's a good one. I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2020, but I have been working on this all my life. But I didn't really understand that it was going to impact me as much as anyone. I was thinking, I'm going to help the world, I'm going to help people, And then as I worked every minute that I spend working on this, developing it, planning it, writing about it, designing it, it uplifts me. It changes the way I feel about the world, and like there's hope. And it changed, I think it healed the symptoms I was having of PTSD. So that is my personal story, is just I felt like I was called, you know, um, to design a closed loop human system that makes everyone survive and thrive. And right now we're in a society that is kind of accepting less than that as being the norm and not really almost coming to the conclusion like, well, you can't make everybody happy. So, we just do this or we just do that. And people seem to have the capacity to maybe think of one thing or really develop one thing well. And we humans are multidimensional, so we cannot be supported by something that is focused on one thing. For example, the economy. And it seems to be everyone's focus is like the economy. And if we can just make a strong economy, then everything will be great. We are not one-dimensional people. We are multidimensional. So that is not going to be enough. So that is what started to make me pull all these thoughts together every time I felt like I was being flooded with this information about how to solve this problem, that problem, this every problem that somebody says or I see on TV or on the news. I would get the solution. And it was floating around in my head so much that I would talk about it, and it was too much for, I haven't ever found anyone who was able to listen to the whole idea, because it's too much and people are feeling like it's maybe too big of a goal to say we're going to solve every problem. Why not? So you sit down, let's think, okay, how do we solve that problem? Okay, how do we solve that problem? And you just, every problem solved, and you do it in one system that's duplicatable, that's affordable. Yes, it can be done because I've been doing it. So that is what inspired me, is the drive behind it was my own need for community, for healing, for a calmer society with less stress. I needed that. And so I was driven by that need of my own.
Excellent. And I know there's so many people that can relate to what you just said. That's perfect. So can you describe what Arc 7 arcology is then and how it functions and how it solves so many problems all at once?
Yes. Okay. So the way that we do it, first of all, I have 7 dimensions, and those 7 dimensions are consistent with all people, no matter who you are, no matter what your income bracket or education, everyone has these same 7 dimensions. And that is survival. We are all trying to survive. That's number one. And then body, mind, and spirit. And then family. I lost track myself. Family, tribe, and our mission. So if we can do that, it loosely relates to the chakras. So if you're familiar with that, so the survival would be like the root chakra, and the mission would be like the um the visionary, the person who's going to serve others instead of only serving self. And so when you start with those 7, and then start to create programs around support for those 7, you know that you're going to be supporting every single person. So some people say, well, I have my own needs. I'm not like everyone else. It's like, yeah, but you do have to eat, and we all eat. You do have to sleep, and we all have to sleep. So we all need shelter. We all need food, clothing. So we can make a very specific support system that is right for everyone. And then those things that are more personal and that is unique to you would have to be built into that system in unique ways that would come from you. So that means that you would be contributing what's unique while we're supporting, the community is supporting you in your basic ways. And then you bring what's unique to the mix, and that's what will make it a very unique family, tribal connection that everybody will heal and be in. Uh, I'm trying to remember the term that I love is low impact, low impact environment, low stress, low impact, joy, happiness, celebration. Instead of that stressful environment that has become the norm, that everyone just says that's how it is and you can't really do anything about it. Life is stressful. And I don't believe that. I don't think it has to be.
Excellent. Can you describe? Oh, actually, go ahead, Michael. Do you have a question?
I just have one question. I'm curious, what does the courses or the tests that you have in place look like?
Online, I have everything online so that this sounds morbid, but if I died, it could go on without me. It functions entirely online without any help. Um, I have it's set up in 4 lessons. So lesson 1 is about practical spirituality, which is what I just described, a community that supports itself and supports each other, and that everyone in that community understands that the goal, there's only one goal, and that is that everyone survives and thrives. So if that's everyone's goal in that community, then everyone will be doing everything they can to make that happen. So that is lesson 1, is all about practical spirituality. And lesson 2 is about relationships, and that kind of relationship that can live amongst others in close situations, understanding the difference between what is my domain, what is your domain, and we do not enter into someone else's domain. And as long as we can find those very strong boundaries, we can live together very peacefully. And then when we have these shared domains, then we have to learn just the basics of how do you live in a shared domain. So this is mine, this is yours, but what do we do when it's shared? And so this is just what we teach in the relationships and how to have non-toxic relationships. And then lesson 3 is about the leadership in the arcology, the type of leadership that empowers others instead of being the power, and most leaders, they just feel like it's supposed to be like, okay, I'm in leadership, I got to show my power, but if you understand that leadership is about empowering others, then you won't have that toxic kind of domination and control and all the stuff that people are really so tired of. And then finally, lesson 4 is about missions. And the mission is your role. What do you do to help the mission, which is, what's the mission I said earlier?
To survive and thrive.
There you go. So if that's our mission, is that every other person in your community survives and thrives, you're going to make sure they do, and they're going to make sure you do. That means that everyone has the same goal and the same drive, same motivation. but they all do it in a very unique way. So they all have the same mission, but they have a different role. So by the end of the fourth and final lesson, you know what your mission is, you know what your role is, and you're starting to get very specific training on what that is. So, for example, if you wanted to be the bread maker for, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, you're going to get some special training about that specific thing that you contribute. So,
Excellent.
four
Love that.
lessons and four lessons, and the final one is specific to your role.
It's very interesting. Thank you. I love that.
Thank you.
And again, if somebody wants to see that specifically, they can go to your website and tell us your website again.
ARC7 Arcology. So it's ARC7. Arcology is ARCOLOGY.com. And lesson one is right there on the homepage. You can just start signing up.
And you can start anytime, right? Somebody could go there right now and do that.
Exactly, because it has to be completely self-motivated and self-time, so that anybody can do it in any situation. If they're in school and they're stressed, they could do it on the weekends, or they could do it at night. If it's a single mom, maybe she'd do it in the morning or on her lunch, so everybody needs to be able to do. They are in a stressful situation now, but we'll get them out of that stressful situation if they can go to those trainings and figure out their role and then start to make a plan that will get them out of that. So this is what makes me so excited, is that I know that anybody going there and starting to take that training will be uplifted, because I know it was uplifting to me as I was bringing it together out of my, whatever it was, this download that came to me. I just loved every second that I worked on it. And I know that that love is going to come through, because it was coming to me and then through me. And now it's going to be just like blowing out. So it will change lives for sure.
Excellent. Oh, I love the passion behind this, and all the things that you describe. It's all based on community, and really with what we do here, it's the TDC Today Show communities. It is all about how do we work together? How do we make life better for one another? And
Mhm.
I'm hearing that inside out with what you're describing, and
Yep.
it's such a great approach to for anyone to learn how you do this and incorporate this in, whether it's incorporated into what you're already doing or getting ideas for how I can function differently, or you
Yeah.
know what, maybe it's going to be all in. And you had described to me earlier about what a community physically might look like. Do you want to just
Yep.
touch on that briefly? And then I know we do have another
Yeah.
guest joining us too. So, but wonder if you want to just touch on that first.
Okay. Um, so I have it pictured like this. We have perhaps 70 acres. Everything's seven, right? I start with seven because because of the seven dimensions. And then recently I've been working on this plan, and what do you know? It turns out to be seven again. And then I turned out, how many liters do we need? I was saying 50. And then this other thing, oh no, we need 20 more. Oh, it's 70. And it keeps turning out that way. Like it's always a seven. So it's starting to be really easy for me to remember these numbers. So we need 70 liters to do seven dimensions, because there's 10 involved in each role, each center. And these seven dimensions, there's a center for each dimension. And the reason why I do this with my hands is because they're going around in a circle and they're joined so that there is a park in the middle, and it's a very safe place to be for people with disabilities, for children, for people walking at night. This is an indoor walking lifestyle. So when you go outside, you can also go all the way around and go anywhere you want to go to any of these various centers. But really, we'll be living on the inside where that parkway is. And so I envision it with a dome over the top so that in any kind of climate, we can continue to be in that walkable lifestyle. And then the buildings are about 4 stories high. So if you picture 4-story buildings in a circle with a park in the middle, and these 4 stories, it goes, the bottom floor is whatever that activity is, either the senior center, the youth center, the cafe, or the retreat center, or the meditation center, or the church. There's 22 of those. And the way, I won't bother to get you the numbers for that. But anyway, there's 22. And they are all the way around the circle, and that's the bottom floor. And then the second floor in every one of those 22 buildings is a living space that is shared. A big kitchen and laundry and everything you need to live in today's world. You need, a place to eat, a place to do your laundry and to get your mail, and just the organized part of your life is on the second floor, and it's shared in these 22 buildings. So it's kind of like each one is a family, they're living together. So you go and get your mail, or you go and have a meal, and that's in that building. But these people over here that live in this building are also have a second floor where they have their kitchen and their mail and whatever. And then the third floor and fourth floor are living spaces and rooms. And the top floor is for, if you can imagine it like a condo that's upright like this, you got the top floor is maybe the parents, and the third floor is the kids. So then you got the eating space and all that stuff, and then the activity at the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can picture that?
I can picture that. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for describing all that. I'm going to mention again, arc7arcology.com. So more information can definitely be found there. Trey, I'm so grateful to have you here and sharing what this all is. And I know, like I said, we have another guest joining us, so I'm hoping you can stick around, and we'll see if maybe she has any questions for you as well. But Marianne of Waikiki is here to join us and give us some updates with what's all going on in her corner of the world. Marianne, how are you today?
Wonderful, Sue. Thank you so much for hosting this weekly show in your radio, MKE Ability now, and your husband too, Kurt Roskoff, with the World of Ability podcast every Saturday, and well, founder Jay Stoyan to support this today's show. So many people are out there, and we support veterans, and I want to highlight too that we have 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And October is anti-bullying month, Sue. So we're going to be giving a free ebook download of our second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, featuring Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, who has a sign language interpreter named Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. And that's just one of 4 books that we have created in the Acts of Kindness series in our journey in Hawaii, where I was a sign language interpreter for a deaf man for over a decade. And through guided meditation, I asked what my next purpose was, and I was told I was going to write a series of children's sign language books with puppets, and I laughed. Well, guess what? They started showing up. We were down in the mall, and there was a tree of folk manis puppets, and I could put my hand in and I could sign with Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken. I could finger spell with Eve the finger spelling bumblebee. And, to the highest level is, no one has done anything in animation movies with sign language characters. And we now have 4 books of the Acts of Kindness series. We have a soundtrack that was produced by Lucy in the perfect way for her own creative works. And I listened to it, and Nick's guitar echoes like whales and dolphins. And so I had the opportunity to live on a sailboat oceanfront, and all this garbage was swirling around, and we wanted to know where it was coming from and why. And that's highlighted in our first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, dedicated to Boynton Slat. So the good news now is, through my journey, I met Leon McLaughlin, Clean Water Foundation, who is landing in Waikiki, Hawaii, as we speak, and who will be interviewed for a documentary with CNN. Several reasons for he's doing a coffee with a cause, and they're going to be highlighting our book, Underwater Acts of Kindness. And I dedicated our fourth book to Leon, called Cool Acts of Kindness for Climate Change. So as the series goes, it's for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change. It feels so good, from that thought to action, to get it out of my head, to bring it into animation, book trailers, so that we can make this happen and benefit the world worldwide with all these amazing characters. So here's a flyer here. There's Leon. He has a water unit, and the water unit value of $150. Last year, I applied for Awesome Grant Foundation Oahu chapter, and I won $1,000 in July, which allowed us to gift the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit last year. Kurt and Emily Zoomed us. I was traveling to Vancouver and back to San Carlos, Mexico. But we made it happen, and we have a short video of him doing a presentation with the deaf principal as well as a sign language interpreter. And we gifted them our second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, and coloring books I created as well with the finger spelling ASL alphabet. Through our journey of happy neighborhood projects, we met Trevor Gibbs, who is the web detective. He makes sure your websites are ADA compliant, that's American Disabilities Act compliant. And 30 some years ago, President Bush signed the American Disabilities Act. So businesses who do not have their website compliant can receive up to a $70,000 fine. That's meaning if a person with a visual impairment can't read it, I had to turn off the sound. People can't find the clicks, the text, the colors. Men over 50 tend to acquire color blindness. So many things can happen with persons with disabilities as we grow through our lifespan. And so he has helped me upload these YouTube channels of the characters that I created through Fiverr during the pandemic. And I received some funding for that. And so now you can see the thought to action. Leon also too was on a cover of Gold Coast magazine. So he's got good things that are happening, and good things also too with, Kurt Roskoff in the World of Ability. We met with Inspire World, and they're interested in helping me create a baby sign clothing line in February to launch with World Water Day. And we were recognized by the United Nations for our book, Cool Acts of Kindness, through Leon. So we got good things that are happening. And Sue, if you be kind, we'll upload this Rabbit Acts of Kindness book trailer so you can see that thought to action. And I'm excited. We'll have a free ebook download. Friday again is World Mental Health Day. And we want to get this out into the world, and hopefully we'll be broadcasting live through the hurricane in San Carlos, Mexico on Saturday with the World of Ability podcast. And maybe Leon will be joining us. And one other thing, so guess who might be meeting up with Leon? Bruce the bird guy, our
Oh,
veteran
no
who is
way.
joining us. I told him he has to go down and meet with him. And
Excellent.
they are connecting. And just like Michael, he was trying to connect with you in Las Vegas. I'm sure that will happen again. But yeah, the Bruce the bird guy, Leon McLaughlin, my editor, Lori Barth, and Andy Sexton is in the book Climate Change. What I did was I sent Leon to showcase the PDF. We were unable to ship books at this time, but it's all good. So we're getting the word out. And again, he's going to be recognized by CNN, Coffee with a Cause, airline ambassadors. They're going to do fundraisers. And hopefully in 2026, they'll launch these Island Earth locations. So good things are happening and shifting the good energy. And we just were on with Santa Papa John this week. And not only that, we nominated Santa Papa John, Leon, my editor in Hawaii, for the Random Acts of Kindness car, the giveaway with Stu and Lori variety show. for their amazing work and what they've done, especially Lori Barr. She edited my book series, pretty much for free. That's a lot of time, talent, and energy. And what I found out is that the Attorney's General office that she works at has this computer system that can edit. And it was pretty impressive, especially with the different parts of the locations of each island that we included. So a lot of work. So we sent that off. We got that out there to the world, to the universe. Crossed our fingers. Can you imagine Santa Papa John driving around in a random acts of kindness company car that's white and black and red, or Leon driving, delivering water units, that he does, getting them out there with the school books, or Lori Barth on the island of Oahu driving around delivering the Acts of Kindness series books and coloring books. So we're crossing our fingers that we get selected with one of them. They definitely deserve it. And so let's move forward. Mr. Roscoff is here. And let's go ahead and showcase Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. Mr. Roscoff and I are meeting with Zach Clayton tomorrow. Pay it forward. He's got a chili cook-off for Denver's Children's Hospital in November. We're hoping the sponsors will purchase the books as part of their, bring a gift or pay $10 to be at the chili cook-off. So we want to showcase these books, and I was able to lower the price. And again, Friday we'll have an ebook download. So take it away. So go out and play is our tagline. I know Leon's going to be so go out and play in there with Bruce and the bird guys. I don't know if Bruce is bringing some birds down. We're going to hear all about it. I know we said what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but now he's in Waikiki. We got to hear all about it. Back to you.
Excellent. Perfect. Here it is.
Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. Harry, the hard of hearing. Rabbit attends a special school in Hawaii where he makes new friends and learns sign language and finger spelling. One day, on his way home, two bullies tease and frighten him. In a panic, Harry dashes to the ocean and jumps in. He is rescued by a kind turtle named Tico and safely delivered to Rabbit Island. Harry must summon all of his courage to find his way back. With the help of others who are also stranded, he builds a magical boat and his team undertakes a heroic voyage home. Together they face the bullies and arrive just in time for spectacular rainbow birthday party. Created by Marianne of Waikiki, just for you. Do you have a brave heart? You can learn the fingerspelling ASL alphabet. Visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel. Meet Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken and Eve, the fingerspelling Bumblebee. Get your copy of the coloring book today. Play the game app and pledge to spread kindness everywhere. And rock your style with our exclusive Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bullying t-shirt. Get your copy of Rabbit Act of Kindness, No Bully today. Available on Amazon and actofkindnessseries.com. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies of the books, coloring books, and Folkmanist puppets for every student via donorschoose.org.
Excellent. All right. And I know we've got Kurt joining us. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in to see if he has any words to share here real quick. Kurt, how are you?
Absolutely wonderful. What a treat to come in here and see everybody working together, striking up great conversation, awesome things to share, having a show of all things resembling what I'm passionate and enthusiastic about. And yes, this TDC Today Community Show, really bringing it out about the need to work together, looking at Mother Earth, all of our natural resources, all of our animals, all of our water, all of our human resources, 8 billion people around the world, and how we're just evolving into doing this all better and better, every generation coming. 175 billion people ever on this planet. And we're still in engineering mode, how to do this best, this way to live on this planet and use everything we have in front of us and work better as a team, one big ginormous family of 8 billion people around the world, and considering all the functional realities around that. Yesterday I was on with the Open Mind and Motivation Readers Mastermind Network crew, and doing their quarterly review progress reports and sharing what Sue had put together on Canva, and all the things we do in our disability advocacy and work here at the Disability Channel. And we got quite a tremendous response, and we did bring out about the community of people who are deaf or hard of hearing and about sign language interpretation, and learned that one of the gentlemen has a history of doing sign language interpretation. So it's just very interesting to see that when you're very purposeful, dedicated, persistent, and just bringing these words forward as they're needed to be delivered. And today I was privileged to be able to be on a couple of shows, being a guest, and was on Facebook Live through a co-hosted format, and talking about all this work we do, and through the Happy Neighborhood Project. And I did a recording through what we do with helpopedia.org, and the educational sector. It is just really awe-inspiring, all the great work people are doing. A couple hours ago, we were on with a lady out of Los Angeles, really reaching to the 100,000 people who are homeless in Los Angeles, and to hear how they're commenting about people that are serving in public service, public office, and just really look at the grounding that needs done, and to rally people around really looking at, kind of where are we coming from, where are we going. I was on the Open Mind session before I came in here. They ran overtime. It was such an electric and captivating conversation. They took an extra 20 minutes, to wrap it up. Sorel Gatan was on there leading it all, and they're talking about rain and, being I am, and, just living out, declaring who you are and what your decision is and what your truth is. And, the idea of owning it, and to not let the other things of the world interfere with that. And I guess there's a little of that with Marianne here, and Michael and Teray and Sue. I think, I'm really learning a lot from my family and friends here, in terms of how to have that stick-to-itiveness and not be afraid to go for the long game. To say that as much as we're, playing a mean pinball and, kind of feel like we're going up against those bumpers, being bounced this way and that way from all of our old custom culture and genetic memory, we're staying true to form. We know our target, and we're going to keep on going until we get there. I'm 53 years old. I'm planning to live well beyond 100 years old. You're all welcome to my 100th birthday. And I've got my friends in water skiing and passion to get me back into being the star on skis that they know I can be. And so I got, a few months of training to do to get back in, because 2 years ago I skied once. This last season I skied once, and now they want me to ski like 100 times this coming summer, 2026. So be ready, folks. You're going to get the Kurt Roskoff fix in 2026. The best is yet to come. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. And with all that we do, we are constantly talking community. There's so much of what we speak of that is based that way. We talk about our ski club. That's our ski family. We have community all around us. We just have to look around and see where that all exists. I think it's more prevalent than we sometimes notice. And it takes a community to do all the things we do. And I am grateful for the community here. Kurt, Michael, Marianne, and Teray joining us for the first time tonight. So glad that you're here, Teray. And we hope that you are able to come on back and join us anytime. Because for all of us here with the TDC Today Show communities, as always, we thank you.